So I'm just taking a quick video here, first one on the channel, first video where I talk and don't just record a printer printing. This is Cobra Salvage. I think the name, given the aesthetics of the place, is pretty fitting. Don't worry about my lunch plate. But anyway, this is Cobra Salvage. This is the King Cobra. What it is it's just a Cobra 2, kind of running in a Core XY configuration. I'm working on a couple of kinks here and there. Right now I got a problem where the Z stepper gets too hot because it wasn't meant to move a bed up and down. No kidding. And then I have some thought experiments I want to perform with this. The idea was originally that this was going to be a 5-head printer and I was going to replace the board with a BTT Octopus Max or something like that. But I'm looking down here, and as you can see, it's got these SPI connectors and this LCD connector that are left over from the Clipper conversion. So I can't help but wonder if a guy couldn't hook up an Arduino to that, and then hook a ramps board to that Arduino, and just extend the motor driver capabilities of the factory Tri-Gorilla board. Hoping that's a thing. I got a post on Reddit about it. We're going to have an update on that. If not, well, obviously we're going to end up with a BTT board or an AliExpress like knockoff equivalent. Yeah, just something, anything that can control at least 9 motors, because here's the configuration. I have the 2 Z's, they can be hooked up to a single driver. I have an X, I have an extruder, I have a Y. But there's going to be 5 extruders total at the end of all this. And then the tool changer is going to have its own small stepper on it. 1 second, where did I put that? There it is. Here it is. There it is. Small little stepper for the tool changer. It's going to drive a rack and pinion system that's going to be mounted to the back of here. And this guy's going to be a little bit further off from the gantry bar, but it's going to be able to move forward, drop a head off over here, move over, grab a different head, and then go back to printing. That's the whole idea. That's how I'm going to be able to do that with a fixed Z height. Going back to the main board here, something I'm really happy about is that this is actually the Anycubic Tri-Gorilla Pro B board. And the reason I want to go with the SPI connector and Arduino ramps board is because I want to keep as much Anycubic as possible while doing this conversion, because I think it would be super cool if this whole thing was almost factory Anycubic, or at least like, yeah, mostly factory Anycubic with just like some aluminum extrusion and some longer Z rods you can buy off Amazon. Maybe a bigger bed. Like if you started with a Cobra 2 Plus and got a Tri-Gorilla Pro B board, you can easily make this without even having to buy a new bed or new Z screws. Just use the Cobra bed, and yeah, that's where it's at. Talking about the construction of this guy a little bit, what's going on here is you see this is kind of a plastic steel sandwich here. What's actually in here is these steel plates are cut away from the bed roller plates of a Cobra 2 Neo and a Cobra 1 Go. These are the Cobra 2 motors, the X and the Y. This is the Cobra 2 head. So that's all factory. But those are the factory tronxy motors down there, because a Cobra 2 only has a single Z motor and not long enough Z screws, and honestly, steppers are steppers. For the most part, steppers are steppers. But I'm really proud of the idea that this is just a recycled printer in every way possible. Those are the Anycubic Cobra belt tensioners, along with this being an Anycubic Cobra belt tensioner. I had to put a screw in back there because the knob for the original belt tensioner doesn't fit back here. At least when it does, it doesn't turn. This belt configuration is somewhat temporary. I gotta get a better belt here. This was just a timing belt, so that way everything moved in unison and moved equal while I was testing everything. A lot of this is temporary because, again, the end goal here is that this printer has 5 print heads on it and is powered by the factory Anycubic board. I just want this to be as much factory Anycubic as possible because I got into an argument at one point. And that's what spawned this whole thing. I got into an argument at one point about some guy saying he hates Anycubic because they're locked down and you can't do anything with them. And I was pretty certain that Anycubic printers are non-proprietary parts wrapped in proprietary looking boxes. And so far, with every nut, screw, and bolt that I've turned on this thing, I've been proven righter and righter. So, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Let's keep going. See you in the next video.